Notre Dame recruiting fans, thank you for tuning in for yet another episode here on the channel. Today, I'm doing the 2023 offensive target board. I will have the defensive target board this Sunday. I've done this for 2022. I did this back in 20 for the 2021 cycle. But it's time to make it 2023. There are enough offers out. There are enough names to know. Some guys do have offers, some don't. In this first slide, only 4 out of the 6 of these guys are actually offered by Notre Dame. And I'll start with the 2 guys that aren't, Tad Hudson and Braden Dorman. Both guys camped at Notre Dame this past Tuesday. Hudson is an elite baseball player as well as football. Dorman is just an all-around stud. Dorman has also been to Michigan State, South Carolina, Clemson, Georgia, and possibly a few others already this June. He's camping, trying to get these offers. Has yet to land one from these summer visits and camps, but boy, I think he could definitely be offered by Notre Dame at the end of this month. I think Tommy Rees and company want to see some more 2023 quarterbacks throw and then make an evaluation on a guy, 2, or even 3 who they might offer. They've already offered 3. Malachi Nelson, Dante Moore, and Archie Manning. Archie Manning and Dante Moore are on here. Malachi, his list is pretty much USC and Oklahoma. I'm nearly certain he ends up at Oklahoma, but we'll see. Dante Moore, I think he's going to end up at Ohio State or Michigan. If Ohio State misses out on their other big targets, Eli Holston. Trying to think who else. Eli Holston, Nick Iamaleava, the quarterback from Downey High School in California. Arch Manning, the quarterback from Louisiana, absolute stud, is offered by pretty much every school. I don't think Notre Dame's going to make much of a push there. He does still want to visit Notre Dame, so I guess that's something, but I like Clemson or Bama or even Ole Miss or LSU in this battle a lot more. And then the 2 running backs, Justice Haynes and Cedric Irvin. They've offered, I believe, 5 running backs, 4 or 5. It depends what you call an athlete. Cedric Irvin, I think, is going to end up at Michigan State, maybe one of the southern schools. His father played for the Spartans back in the 90s. Justice Haynes' father also played running back for Georgia. I could see him ending up at the home state school, but I could also see him ending up at Notre Dame. Just was at Ohio State, Stanford even, but I think he's going to end up at Georgia. We'll see. Long process, but right now, if I were to give any indication where these guys are going, I don't think any of the running backs on this board end up at Notre Dame. Maybe one of the quarterbacks, but we'll see. There's a lot to go left there at those positions. Carnell Tate is a guy who every Notre Dame fan knows about. Originally from Marist High School in Chicago, Tate moved down to IMG Academy this spring to play ball there. It's a battle. This one's going to be close. Posted on his Instagram story that he, back in his 8th grade graduation, where he sees himself in 2027, graduating from the Ohio State University. Deleted it shortly thereafter, but for maybe an hour or so, that was on one of his Instagram stories. So I don't like to freak out over that stuff, but I don't know. Just a little bit something there. Deuce Robinson, father played for the Seminoles. Mother went to University of Florida. I could see him ending up wherever. I have it on Florida State just because of his father, and Florida State has a lot of momentum right now in the recruiting world. Really up in the air there. Did visit Notre Dame a few days ago, I believe. Christian Hamilton is a guy who I'm really excited about. Just straight speed guy. He's from North Carolina. No clue where he's going to end up. Not taking any visits this June. He maybe to the South Carolina or Carolina schools, but super early there. I feel kind of bad making this video because a lot of these guys are early, but guys like Carnell Tate we know a lot about. Mac Markway we know a lot about. Jaylen Brown is a guy who we also don't know a lot about. I could see him ending up at all the SEC schools, really. Could see him going up north to maybe Notre Dame. Notre Dame needs a speed guy, and Jaylen Brown will flash some 4.4, 4.5 speed for you. Would have loved to see him camp. I would have loved to see these faster, quicker wide receivers camp at Notre Dame. That did not happen, though. But I'm a big fan of Jaylen Brown. He's from South Florida as well. Mac Markway is a guy who I could see coming to Notre Dame by the end of this year. has a lot of family that's played D1 in the NFL. South Carolina, Iowa, Ohio State, I think, are a few of the schools that his family members, cousins, fathers, brothers, whatever, brothers played at. But Mac Markway, boy, I could see this dude ending up as a 5-star, maybe just outside of the 5-star range. It's really, really hard to be a 5-star as a tight end, but Mac Markway is definitely better than the 86th overall national rating, even though that is quite high. I'm a huge fan of Mac Markway. Jackson Howard, can see him ending up all over. 51 offers, some for basketball, some dual sport offers for basketball and football. Father played for the Stanford Cardinals. So he values academics. Was at Notre Dame a few days ago. Absolutely loved it. Was at Ohio State as well. Could see this kid going all over. Right now I have it at Ohio State just because I think Notre Dame will only take one tight end in the 2023 class, and I could see Mac Markway popping sooner. And now we go to the offensive line. I have 2 slides here for the offensive line. I'm going to start actually with this one. Only 3 guys. I'll start at the bottom. Trevor Locke is a guy who Notre Dame legacy. If Notre Dame offers, he's going to go there no matter what. I'm confident in saying that. If Notre Dame gives him a committable offer, I see no other school posing a threat. He's been crystal balled by Steve Wiltfong, and he doesn't even have an offer yet. It's from Indianapolis. Has a few offers right now, just 7. But he's camping all over the place. Was at Michigan State, was at Notre Dame. Did not land an offer, but with a strong junior season this fall, I could most definitely see him landing an offer from Notre Dame. And if Notre Dame says, you know what, here's the offer, we want you in our class, it wouldn't take him more than a few seconds to accept. So that's definitely a guy to know. And I think he does end up in this class some way or another. Alex Birchmere is a guy who I'm very, very high on. I think he deserves that 31 national rating on 247. And said offensive lineman from Ashburn, Virginia. Penn State's a school to know here. Virginia Tech, he was at a few days ago. I think it's going to come down to maybe those 3. I don't think he has too much interest in the Southern schools, but we'll see how much he values his education because Notre Dame definitely beats out VTech and Penn State. But Penn State, big threat to these Virginia kids. They love the traditions there. Penn State recruits that state very, very well. At the end of the day, though, I really don't know where he's going to go, and it'll be a wild ride for him, but he's definitely one of the top guys, and he will be a name that you will be hearing about a lot. Harris Sewell is a guy who I'm really, really high on. I think he deserves that 71 national rating. Texas, Auburn, Bama, Oklahoma have offered him. LSU, Notre Dame, this kid is going to be an elite prospect. I could see him getting up into the top 60 or 50. 6'3", 300 is big. I hope he grows a little bit more. He is an inside guy. I could see him playing some center, but I would like to see him grow maybe another inch or 2, but super, super talented. And to be 6'3", 6'4", ranked inside the top 75, that's really, really impressive for the offensive line. Now moving on to 6 more offensive line guys. I'll start with Chase Pesontis. I do think Chase Pesontis ends up at Notre Dame. He really values academics, was at Notre Dame, camped, loved it. I could see him popping maybe before the start of 2022, but we will see. I really do like him there to end up at Notre Dame. If I had a future cast pick, I honestly might put it on the Irish, but it's very early there in that recruitment. Caden Proctor is a guy, Iowa, Ohio State, Notre Dame. It's pretty much like Nwankpa. I will say this. Landing Nwankpa would mean big things for Proctor as well. If Notre Dame can land Nwankpa, you got to like your odds better than without him. Dude, they play at the same school. They're both 4 or 5-star guys. And both massive targets for the Irish. Caden Proctor is going to end up a 5-star, I'm nearly certain. He's 6'7", 315 as a sophomore in high school. And, dude, this recruitment's going to be crazy, just like Nwankpa's. Samsung Ukunalala from Massachusetts goes to a very good academic school. I think that will help the Irish, but super early there. Really have no clue where he's going to end up. Caden Green has been 247 crystal picked to Oklahoma. Really don't know where he's going to go either. Super early in his process. Just landed a Notre Dame offer a few weeks ago. But he's definitely a top guy to know. Monroe Freeling will be up at Notre Dame soon, I believe in about a week. I think Notre Dame leads there. Still super early, though. Has a long ways to go, but 6'7" as a sophomore is pretty crazy, and he's only going to put on more weight. He's right now weighed in at 274. That's pretty skinny for an offensive lineman, especially if you're 6'7". As an outside guy, you can be a little bit lighter, but putting on some more good weight, boy, I could see Monroe Freeling being a top 75 or top 50 guy. And then Joshua Padilla, brother's a wrestler at Ohio University, which is pretty cool. I do think he's going to end up at Ohio State. Camps at Notre Dame did well. I think Pasontas did better, though. But Padilla is definitely a name to know, and Jeff Quinn's all over him. That's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. I will respond to all Notre Dame football recruiting comments that I can. And that is it for me. Peace.